This gun lights your firemen, the pilot lights out.
This football team is coming into our place. We're standing in our way.
This is a game of the heart. Focus and finish.
It's no secret that fantasy owners get nervous and tend to panic when it comes to playoff time, and one of the mistakes they often make is sitting a star player because of a perceived poor matchup or weather outlook. Now, with that being said, I can't believe the amount of viewers who have been asking me if they should be sitting Peyton Manning because they feel he's not effective in cold weather. Now, let's take a look at this a bit, and I'll show you exactly how crazy this notion is. Peyton Manning attempted only 36 passes on Sunday night, and that's 5 passes less than his season average. Why? Well, because Bill Belichick dared Manning to run the ball by the defenses he presented, and Manning chose to take the yardage on the ground given to him. And to be honest, I don't think he ran the ball enough. Now, while Manning only threw for 150 yards on the night with 2 touchdowns and an interception, the Broncos rushed for 280 yards in the game, averaging an unheard of 5.8 yards per carry. You know how many more yards the Tom Brady-led offense put up on the night than the Peyton Manning-led offense? 28 yards. There was just a 28-yard difference between the two offenses. Now, the Broncos put up 412 yards of offense on the night, which would be tied for the 4th best in the league behind their own league-leading 452-yard per game average, followed by Green Bay at 424, the Saints at 415, and the Eagles, who are also averaging 412. So are we prepared to make the declaration that the guy calling his own plays on the field and driving the bus of an offense that produced just 40 yards less than the production of its league-leading average can't play in cold weather? I love when I hear the stat that Manning is 10 for 12 in games played under 40 degrees. Now, why 40 degrees? Where did that number come from? Because you do realize that if you use 41 degrees, all of a sudden the negative argument doesn't work anymore, and it doesn't look so compelling. Hey, he won the Super Bowl playing in the rain. Should he be known as an exceptional wet weather quarterback? Look, you can make stats appear any way you want them to. Check this out, and I'll use the 40 degree number. In Manning's last 4 games in which the temperature at the opening kickoff was 40 degrees or colder, he's averaged 29 of 40 passing, that's 72.5% for 327 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Manning's passer rating over those 4 cold weather games is 108.2. Now that stretch of cold weather games goes back 3 years to November 21st, 2010 at New England, where Manning completed 38 of 52 passes for 396 yards and 4 touchdowns in a 31-28 loss for the Colts. His fantasy production seems pretty good to me. Look, 20 of his 22 so-called cold weather games came on the road. The only 2 home games were against 2-14 Kansas City at the end of 2012 and against Baltimore in that crazy divisional game last year. And of the 22 cold weather games, 5 were against Tom Brady's Patriots, 4 were playoff games. They were all on the road. Road playoff teams lose 69% of the time. Sunday night, with the Broncos behind and just 3:10 remaining in the game, Manning engineered a clutch 10-play, 80-yard drive to tie the game. Did the temperature rise at 11:30 p.m., 20 degrees above 40 during that drive? I don't think so. Look, Tom Brady has played 28 games in freezing temperatures, and he's 23-5, with a winning percentage of over 82%. That's awesome. But that means he's 121-37 in warm weather games, which means his winning percentage drops 7% when it's warm out. Is anyone out there saying that Tom Brady is not as effective in warm weather? Peyton Manning played a large chunk of his NFL career indoors and consequently has only played 7 games his entire career in sub-freezing temperatures. And while his teams haven't fared that well, the majority of them, his personal production hasn't necessarily been that bad. Now, if Champ Bailey didn't watch Jacoby Jones run by him on a 7-yard pass play with 31 seconds left to go in last year's AFC divisional round playoff game, would anyone be saying that Manning couldn't win a cold weather game? If you're benching Manning in December during the playoff run because the weather is getting colder, you deserve to lose. Today's Twitter question comes from @TracyReingold, who wants to know if he should play Michael Crabtree this week. Hey look, if you like Crabtree all along and were waiting for him to come back, if the 49ers deem him ready to go, that means he's ready to go and you should play him. They waited all this time for him to get healthy while they were desperately looking for production from the wide receiver position, and they held him out because he wasn't ready to go. But he is now, so if you like him, play him. Now, if you've got a question you want answered, hit me up with a tweet. And if I don't use your question on the program, I'll tweet you back with my best advice. And be sure to tune into the Roto Experts Fantasy Football News, Notes, and Analysis segment every weekday. I'll be here to keep you current and ahead of the competition, and on weekends, come back for This Week in Fantasy Football as I team up with the King, Scott Engel, covering the week that was and the week that will be, answering your viewer questions. Now, I'll be co-hosting the Roto Experts SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio Show on Thanksgiving morning from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern, and again on Friday. So if you've got some questions you want answered, call into the show and we'll put you up. For Roto Experts, I'm Mike Cardano. See you tomorrow, everyone.